This week on What in the World is Going On, I'm going to be talking about the recent terror attack at the Congregation Beth Israel Synagogue in Colleyville, Texas. So stay tuned, friends. Fellow colleague Tim Munger reported that on January 17th, informing us that on Saturday morning, January 15th, shortly after the Shabbat service began, a man called the Congregation Beth Israel Synagogue in Colleyville, Texas. On the call, he inquired, "Is this a night shelter?" he said. They let me in and gave me a cup of tea. It was then that Tim informed us of the horror that began as Malik Faisal Akram, 44 years old, used the kind assistance to begin a 10-hour hostage siege, both demanding the release of Afia Siddiqui, also known as Lady Al-Qaeda, imprisoned at Carswell Air Force Base, and then Malik Faisal threatened to kill all the hostages. Friends, Tim further went on to report that the first hostage was then released after 6 hours of negotiations, with the rest of the hostages being freed at about 9 p.m. after an FBI SWAT team entered the building. The hostage taker was then killed during the rescue. Now, I'm sure by now many of you have heard what happened last Saturday, and many of you, like all of us here at the Friends of Israel Gospel Ministry, our thoughts and prayers are with the Jewish people in Colleyville, Texas, but also all around the world. And thankfully, no one was injured in this horrific terror attack. But adding to this tragedy, friends, is the fact that this is not an isolated incident. No, but rather it's a result of a steady rise in anti-Semitism all over the world. In the U.S., in a 2020 AJC State of Anti-Semitism in America report released last October, they found that 88% of American Jews view Jew hatred as a problem in the United States, and 82% believe it has gotten worse over the past 5 years. And more than 1 in 3 American Jews, that is 37%, reported having been the victim of anti-Semitism over the past 5 years. Well, that's in the U.S. But how are we doing here in Canada, friends? Well, not very good at all. B'nai B'rith reported in their annual report on anti-Semitic incidents that in 2020, right here in Canada, there were 2,610 recorded incidents, setting a record for the 5th consecutive year in a row, an 18.3% increase compared to 2019, resulting in more than 7 anti-Semitic incidents occurring every day. Well, friends, that is disturbing to say the least. And I want to just say this. On behalf of the Friends of Israel Gospel Ministry, to our Jewish friends all around the world, we as Bible-believing Christians denounce every form of anti-Semitism, and we will forever speak out against it with every chance we get. And we will always stand, support, and love Israel and the Jewish people, the apple of God's eye. For we have been doing that very thing since 1938 when this ministry began. And we will continue to do so as long as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob gives us breath. And therefore, friends, you can be assured that you will always, always have a true friend in us. We really want you to know that. And so our thoughts and our hearts and our prayers go out to all of our Jewish friends around the world in these difficult days in which we live. And friends, if there's anything that we can do to help, simply just reach out to us in the comments below. So until next time, this has been What in the World is Going On with the Friends of Israel Gospel Ministry. Good night, everyone.